All right, so welcome to another personal transformation conversation with Nkechi Macaulay, and I'm totally excited to be here. A friend of mine just shared. I said, "Hey, look, I listened to your one of your videos on self-esteem, and I can say that it completely blew my mind, and I was able to recode a lot of values into myself, especially the affirmation helped me see the need to plant a new sets of coding into myself, and I feel much better about who I am. And that totally blew my mind. I love it when you guys comment on the things you have learned, on the things you've been able to pick one or two things, and it simply just turn your thoughts around. That is for me exhilarating. So I totally love it when you can comment, when you can share your thoughts, or you can ask me any question. I love it. So please keep commenting. Please keep letting me know how you feel about any of my topics, because I am here just to make sure that you live the best life ever, because it's your time and it's your season. All right, so super glad that we are here again for another talk. Well, for today, I want to talk about something quite very deep. I'm talking about healing your inner child. There are problems and there are travails you have gone through as a child, that has, morphed into more, issues that you're battling with as an adult, because you were never taught to find how you can heal that inner child within you first. And we all have the inner child in us. Every one of us has it. And so it's that part of you that went through something as a child, and you weren't able to process it. You couldn't understand why it happened. And the pain was so deep, and it seared your entire heart, and it still aches even to you being an adult. So this talk today is centered on how to heal your inner child. Now, because I'm a boys advocate, and I have a foundation that talks about boys issues, especially boys sexual issues, so I come in contact with boys who have gone through sexual abuse, boys who have gone through physical abuse, boys who have gone through emotional abuse. And it is so destructive to their person when those issues are not being resolved, and they grow up becoming men with so much, personal character issues. So you can trace what they have gone through or what happened as children. And so I've gotten to see a lot of men who are having to battle so much personal crisis because of what happened to them as children. So that's what I'm looking at today. How do I heal my inner child? How do I make my inner child feel happy again? Because when you can heal your inner child and set your inner child free from pain, from aches, oh my God, you'll discover something new about yourself. You will discover you feel much better. You'll discover joy, discover peace, discover something about yourself that is so soothing. And that's the essence of why we're having this kind of conversation. So how do I heal my inner child? Firstly, you've got to acknowledge that you actually went through a traumatic experience as a child. And if you can remember it, acknowledge it. Yes, you went through this. Validate it. It happened. Unfortunately, it's not your fault. You could not do anything about it. It was beyond you as a child. It was something you had no control over. And so recognize that it actually happened to you. The next thing to do is I love doing this and I love talking about it, and I've done it to myself, and it's been an awesome experience. What did I do? I brought a chair and I put a chair in front of me. And then I sat down and I imagined that my little self sat down on the chair. And I decided to have that conversation with me when I was a child. So my imagination was able to recreate me as a little child. So recreate that person as a child right on the next seat in front of you. All right? And then picture yourself as a child and visit you as an adult having that conversation with yourself right in front of you when you were a child. So when you're able to have that imagination brought forth right in front of you, then it's time to have a deep conversation with yourself as a child. So whatever it is you have gone through, look into the eyes of that child that was once you and let that child know, yes, I acknowledge you went through this. Nkechi, I acknowledge that this hurt you way back then. Nkechi, I acknowledge that you went through a lot. It wasn't your fault. You couldn't process it when it happened. You had no control to stop it, but it happened. I know it happened. And I feel your pain. And I feel your aches. So while you were having this conversation with your younger self, of course, there will be so much emotion, bursting forth out of you. So if you need to cry, cry. If you need to express how you feel, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling down about it, just talk about it to the child. And let the child know, I know what you went through. Your sleepless nights, times you could not eat. It affected your schoolwork. Mommy, daddy didn't understand you. Nobody believed you. But hey, I know you went through that. And so open up the story. I know that talking about that incident that happened to you as a child will be devastating. Yes, it will. But it's time to open up with that conversation so that you can find healing. So share that story again and say, hey, look, I know what you went through. I know what happened to you that day. It wasn't right, but I realized that you were hurt by it and I acknowledge it. But you know what, today, it's time to let it go. Look, I'm grown up right now and I want you to be happy again. I want you to be free of it. Okay? So begin to speak soothing words to the younger you on the next chair. Begin to speak comforting words, words of healing. Hey, look, it's time to let that issue go. It's time to let it go. Forgive who hurt you that day. Forgive the person. Call the person by name and say, hey, look, I forgive you. I think you're special. Speak words of affirmation to your younger self. I think you're beautiful. You deserve better. You deserve the very best. And speak those words to that person on the other chair, which is you as a child. When you have all of this conversation, what you're doing is you're shifting all of the negativity on the inside of yourself while you talk to that child, in your imagination on the chair in front of you. It's one of the most powerful transformation experience. Because when you are done with that conversation, you will feel better. And then you can look at the little you in front of you and discover that, yes, in your mind's eye, she's happier. She feels better. She feels okay. She feels lighter. And when you are done, in your mind, hug yourself. Hug the inner child in you. And tell the inner child, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I got you. I got you. I got you. All right? And when you do that, you'll discover that you've healed your inner child. And if you do this consistently, all the time, until you sense a release in yourself, it could happen at that moment. You could do it like 2 or 3 times until you find a release on the inside of you. Then you know that your inner child has been healed. Because at this point, you'll find peace, you'll find rest, you'll find love. You love yourself more. You have more compassion for yourself. And then you'll discover that the pain that, clutched your heart begins to let go gradually. Okay? Then you realize that the healing has begun. And when you discover that there's this burst of life, burst of joy, burst of happiness, because finally again, your inner child is free to fly, because the past is behind you and it's time to embrace your present and your future. Please let me know what this conversation did to you today. So when you look at the video, please hit the subscribe button to get more videos, and then let me know if this resonated with you. Let me know what you feel. Let me know how you felt. Let me know if this really hits you to a point where you feel like, you know what, I'm going to try this, and let's see if I can heal my inner child. All right, so I'll see you again on the next video. And keep subscribing and keep sharing my YouTube channel so others can get blessed. I am Nkechi Macaulay, your personal transformation coach, and I'm here to ensure that you live the best life the rest of your life. Thank you.